Razorbacks linebackers will lead the Hogs defense in 2025. Arkansas Razorbacks defense had a lot of turnover this offseason. But the one position that didn't and maintain the talent that they had from last year is the linebacker position. And you give me a moment here, I'm going to tell you why they will lead this defense to possibly being a top tier SEC defense. But before we get into it, make sure you like the video and make sure you subscribe to the Wine Boss channel so you can be a part of the Wine Boss family, where we root for the Razorbacks. We basically we're fans, and we love the Hogs, and this room is strictly for people that fit that criteria. So make sure that you go ahead and like the channel and subscribe to us so you can be a part of the family. So the linebacker position is a strength. It is clearly a strength with superstar linebacker Xavian Sorey, 6'3", 225 pounds, senior transfer from the University of Georgia 2 years ago. Led the team in tackles last year and is on many awards lists, preseason award lists for the linebacker position. And then you have Stephen Dix Jr., who's also a senior transfer and was on the team like Sorey last year. So you have not only these guys being super and supremely talented, but they also understand what Travis Williams wants and understands the system, and they will lead by example. Not only do that position has those two carryovers, but the coaches recruited damn good in providing depth with quality talents with such players as such as Tavion Wallace, who was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school, and Bradley Shaw is another guy that was a 4-star recruit. So, like I said, you got a few guys that are sprinkled around 4 stars. We it's hard for us to get a 5, but if we can get some 4s mixed in with the 3s, then that's all that you really can really hope for, being a school like the University of Arkansas. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna listen to Coach T. Will speak about uh, his linebacker, and we're gonna see exactly what he means when he speaks highly about what his guys are and what they're going to be to the team this year.
It's like what you have in the NFL. We have it here now where I could talk to him through the mic. So he is our Peyton Manning of our defense. So when he go, we go. So it's that type of deal. And then Soares is phenomenal, just athlete, player. So we have two of the best guys in this conference, and I'm blessed to be their coach. Stephen Dix is our quarterback of our defense. He gets everything checked. He gets everything lined up. He's our green dot. The green dot is like what you have in the NFL. We have it here now where I could talk to him through the mic. So he is our Peyton Manning of our defense. So when he go, we go. So it's that type of deal. And then Soares is phenomenal, just athlete, player. So we have two of the best guys in this conference.
One more
I'm
time.
blessed to be their coach. Stephen Dix is our quarterback of our defense. He gets everything checked. He gets everything lined up. He's our green dot. The green dot is like what you have in the NFL. We have it here now where I could talk to him through the mic. So he is our Peyton Manning of our defense. So when he go, we go. So it's that type of deal. And then Soares is phenomenal, just athlete, player. So we have two of the best guys in this conference, and I'm blessed.
Okay, so there you have it. You hear he said the same thing, that Razorbacks have two of the best linebackers in the whole conference. So that speaks volumes. He said that Stephen Dix is the quarterback of the defense. I mean, he's the leader. He's the Peyton Manning. He has the earpiece in the mic in the in his helmet. So he's the guy that Coach T. Will is talking to. So that says a lot about the trust that T. Will has, in Dix being a guy that, he's putting pretty much the defense in his hands to make decisions. And that means that he's smart. That means that he understands the scheme and the leadership is there at that position. And when you bring Sorey into the mix, and then, the young guys, Bradley Shaw and Tavion Wallace, the name sounds similar. When you bring those guys in the mix that are young, but they're looking at leaders be great, they have no choice but to fall in line. They have no choice but to fall in line. So I like that the position and I like the direction that we're going with the people that we got as leaders. And we're gonna take a look at another article here. I want to kind of go over um, just what they're saying about our linebackers. Arkansas football position previews. Linebackers set to lead the Hogs defense in 2025. 6 weeks remain. Now it's 4 weeks. We know this was 2 weeks ago. 6 weeks remain until the return of Arkansas football. All eyes are on the Razorback season opener against Alabama A&M. Kickoff is set for 3:15 on the SEC Network on Saturday, August the 3rd, inside the Razorback Stadium. I'll be there. A lot of people are not excited about that, but I never miss a home opener uh, for the Razorbacks. The Hogs are coming off a 7-6 campaign that exceeded preseason expectations and fell short. Hold on. And I gotta go back. Exceeded preseason expectation, but yet fell short of the team ceiling. The task for Sam Pittman and his coaching staff is to improve upon that record after a rash of transfer departures against a tougher schedule. I don't know about you, but it seems like to me that we always have a tough schedule. Like they make it seem like each year this is the toughest schedule they ever had. I just think that you're used to that. You know you're gonna have a tough schedule playing in the SEC, but they do have some tough non-conference games. Playing Notre Dame and Arkansas State. Um, so and Arkansas State won't be a pushover. But I'm excited that the competition is there. So that means that y'all have to practice hard. You have to really, really come together. Over the past month, the Southwest Times Record has run positional previews twice a week, asking two questions, providing one bold prediction. These lead into SEC Media Days with the Razorbacks scheduled to appear Thursday, July 17, 2025. But you know that this was already written, but still, the content is still there. We've already covered the entire offensive defensive line. Here's a look at the linebackers. How does Arkansas football get the linebackers enough snaps? This was arguably the biggest question mark entering the 2024 season, but solid recruiting from defensive coordinator and linebackers coach Travis Williams revamped the room. He aced transfer portal additions like Xavian Sorey and Stephen Dix Jr. and landed a pair of high school prospects in Brad Shaw and Tavion Wallace. Sorey led the team with 99 tackles last fall. But Williams historically runs with just two linebackers on the field in 2024. He fluctuated between the 4-2-5 and the 3-2-6 formations with all of the talent at his disposal, including two more transfers in Andrew Harris and Trent Wayland. It feels like that philosophy will change in 2025. So, in other words, what they're saying is that he will normally runs a four-man down, two linebackers, and five defensive backs. Last year, he had three down, two linebackers, and six back because you always want to have five or six people in coverage if you don't feel good about the people covering, which that kind of takes away from your run defense because you're putting more guys on the back end to make sure you don't get beat deep. I wouldn't recommend a 3-2-6. Hopefully, with the talent that he has, gotten in the secondary, that those guys can play man to man, and you don't have to play a lot of 5 and 6 man back. So The fans can expect to see plenty of 3-3-5 defense that was utilized throughout the spring. Shaw will play closer to the line of scrimmage, and defensive linemen will come off the field. So he wants all of his linebackers out there. He wants his linebackers because he has a bunch of good ones, not only Sorey and Dix, but he wants one of those guys, Shaw or Wallace, to be out there to maximize the full potential of the defense. For this setup to succeed, Arkansas must prove it can stop the run and get after the passer with one fewer lineman. Well, we struggled getting to the passer last year. So it'll be interesting to see if they'll be able to do both. It'd be great. Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about Wallace. Is Tavion Wallace an immediate contributor? Tavion Wallace was the highest rated recruit in Pittman's class in 2025. Ranked number 20 at his position and number 180 in 247 composite, he stunned the recruiting world when he picked Arkansas over Florida State last summer. Coaches and teammates raved about him before spring practice and started for his work in winter conditioning programs. Pittman said he will play on special teams right away, but don't be surprised if Wallace gets into too deep on defense as well. So again, I was talking about the talent level that is behind Sorey and Dix. So these are the guys that are behind them. So we already know about the guys that's leading. Wallace is 6'1", 228 pounds, is one of the fastest linebackers on the team. He has all of the required tools to develop into an NFL linebacker and might have the brightest future out of any player on Arkansas's roster. Wow. Wasn't I just speaking about Dix and Sorey, but the way that they're making it seem like we're going to be talking more about this guy. So, uh, before transferring to Texas, Brad Spence was second on the team last year with 4 sacks. Sorey and Dix each had 2, while Shaw had 1 in minimal snaps. Okay. Williams, T. Will is terrific at dialing up linebacker blitzes, and we all know that he's very creative with his blitzes. With so many question marks with Arkansas's pass rushers along the defensive line. Again, those were the questions I went over in my last video. So make sure you check it out so you can see just how right I was about that. He'll rely on his position to hurry the quarterback in 2025. Shaw and Sorey feel like the most logical candidates. Both of them should flirt with 5 sacks this fall. So that's a little bit. They didn't really give us too much information about the linebacker crew as much as I wanted, but still, it kind of gave us a nice, clear, and concise view of just the potential that this group really has. So, what if the defensive line develops and actually can stop the run? And then the linebackers can just run free and make tackles for losses. You got the size to plug up the inside gaps. You got the speed on the outside with your linebackers. Pretty much everything depends upon the secondary. And they got a bunch of key guys that I spoke about in the previous video that they could come together. I mean, it's a good chance that all this works, but it's also a chance that it won't work. But Razorback fans, I know that it's hard getting up every year with hope and having it crash down. And that's why most of the fans that I've spoken with, they're not too excited about this season. They look at the schedule and it's like, oh my gosh, we're gonna lose. Are we gonna win 6 games? And I'll say this. There's a lot of teams on Arkansas' schedule. I don't look at ranking. We don't know what ranking is if we are in August. These guys haven't played. It's all about, subjective opinion. So I don't really care about what you rank in August because every team, for the most part, most teams, 90% of the teams have questions. They're replacing people. They have to bring continuity. When you have new offensive linemen, when you have new receivers, you have to get up to speed. So everybody on that schedule, though they name, sounds intimidating, but I guarantee you that every team has questions in, all the different parts, of the team, different units, so we just have to play these games and we have to get better every week. But me personally, I feel like if the coaching is right and they really develop guys how they need to develop them, the talent is there. The talent is there. I mean, I've done a lot of research on this team and just the players individually. The talent is clearly there, and the sky's the limit. Like I said, it takes work and it takes discipline and it takes fundamentals. So we'll see if the Hogs defense are able to do those things in order to give us something to be happy about this season. So this is my take on the linebacker room. And again, I hope that you enjoyed this content. And if you do, make sure you like the video. Make sure you support the Wine Boss channel, man. We putting in a lot of work. I mean, we are really, really working hard, just trying to, bring, you know, truth and clarity to uh, what we need to know about this team. Because, when you just look at what they say on the news or what, somebody uh reports, everybody is not really doing the work. And then a lot of people that report really don't understand football, so, you know, it is what it is. But subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you are in the loop on anything that comes out that's Razorback related. Okay, so that's my spiel on this episode. And my name is the Wine Boss. And hope you all enjoyed this content. And until the next time, make sure y'all stay safe. And I'm out of here. Peace out.